Hi guys, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Curtis.
And welcome to Pompeo Home.
Our 700 square foot oasis in Hyde Park, Chicago.
Come on in. So welcome to our living room. This is one of our favorite portions of our home. Honestly, we chose it because of the beautiful bay windows and the view of Hyde Park. So we live really close to the Obama Center, the University of Chicago, and we get to see all of that through these gorgeous bay windows that have so much character.
We almost have like a little view of the lake as well. Like if you squint a little bit of penthouse without being a penthouse, if you know what I mean, with the lake view. So that's what we like to say, at least in our mind, that's how it all worked out. Now we're gonna talk about some of the things in the space that we just absolutely love, which is like this chair. This chair
It's comfortable.
Right here. There's a really cool story about this chair. This chair got at an outlet store. It's actually a piece of outdoor furniture.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. We saw it one day. I knew we had to have it, but the car was packed. Told Danielle that I was coming back out there first thing.
I didn't believe him.
The next day. And now it's here. We call it our Gucci chair. It makes you just feel expensive.
Something we like to do is entertain, have our friends and family over. We pack out our 700 square foot apartment for real.
We be in here tight.
We do plates on the lap, like holidays, all that. Some of the things that were actually really important to us was the sofa. It's actually by Sixpenny. It's stunning. One of our favorite features is that entire like cover. You can remove it, dry clean it, and swap it out for another color. Thought a white couch was kind of dangerous, but not when you can
Still dangerous, guys. I will say this. If we knew what we knew now about our style, about everything,
yeah,
we would have opted out of the white couch. Even though we know auntie and grandma and all of them all got a white room and a white couch, we probably should have opted out of the white couch. You know, makeup and all.
This is where you can say I told you so.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing that we really, really love in our living room space and that we wanted to make sure that we had in our home was a gallery wall. Our journey with art, like we've always been around it and been around creativity, but really being able to step into what it means to be like collectors and to preserve like art and Black story is something that's really, really important to us. What is your favorite piece in the collection?
I consider it one piece because they were a pair, but the twins, Shayna McCoy really did something nice and special for some of her friends and family and gave us these two patches up here. Twins are in our family and just like reminds us of childhood.
And hopefully our future.
Hopefully our future.
Fingers crossed.
Those are my favorites. What about you?
My favorite you guys will see later, which is by Nico Washington, and it is Starboy. It's in our bedroom. And the thing that's really, really special about that piece is Nico actually used to live on our street. The fact that we now have a piece that we own in our collection from Nico is just like crazy. Nico also did this work behind us as well, which was a wedding gift from our friend Adrian Octavius Walker, who is another incredible artist.
His work's there.
His work is right here. So the fact that our collection actually speaks to one another is something that's really, really important. And this piece that we didn't get to talk about, we've called it Baby Girl, and this is also a Shayna McCoy, which is an original that Shayna gifted to us because I hosted an artist talk with her in Los Angeles. And yeah, she made this special for us. So we don't know if this is foreshadowing, but man. You know, I wouldn't mind being a girl dad.
When we first moved in, we had nothing in here. It was white space, like very much Chicago apartment when you first move in. But we went to Jason Home and picked up a lot of books. It was like our first investment. So we found a ton of books that inspired us, but also could be used as a form of decoration. You see we have Virgil Abloh, we have Henry Taylor, the new Guard, and this is just a little bit of our collection.
When we started our journey, we really were trying to find a way to marry both of our styles together, which I would say that Danielle's style was very neutral. She liked lines.
It was, okay?
She liked structure. And now
we have a green ceiling.
Yeah, we have a green ceiling and blue walls. You know what I mean? It's definitely giving candy shop. We found maximalism and that our ability to show up in a design practice and an approach that we felt like was a great way to merge both of the things that we love. Maximalism afforded us an opportunity to be able to play in a really, really special way. And so we get to do that a lot in smalls. So in smalls, you're looking at, you know, objects like this really incredible vessel that we got from Jason Home, as Danielle said.
Yeah, Jason Home's all up in here.
We love Jason
I
Home.
mean, we cannot not mention the candle. It smells amazing. I'm so close to the fire. Woo. But we also get a lot of our candles from Jason Home. Do you remember the scent?
But I don't remember the scent.
Yeah, so many great things, and Jason Home always has them in stock.
But it is our home scent, which is important. We found to be able to have a scent that can be associated with your home.
Yeah.
It's just like that other thing that make it really feel like exquisite. Talk about Mr. Fish.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is honestly Curtis's thing, so it's really nice he's letting me talk about the Mr. Fish. But Mr. Fish is also from the Lincoln Antique Store here in Chicago. And like, look at him, little fish. This was one of the things Curtis bought and didn't know if I was gonna be like, babe, what is that? What do we have here? Oh, it's Solange.
Apartmento Solange, that was a gift from our friend Karen.
Shout out to Karen.
Thank you, Karen.
We love you.
But I love Mr. Fish, and so does Danielle.
I do. He's lucky.
Let's take you guys into our dining room, because we love our dining room.
Character is all up and through the entire building. It feels like it's almost like a pre-war building, and some things that came with our apartment are actually our built-in bookshelves. So the built-in bookshelves, there's 2 of them, another twin thing. And it's the home for a lot of our books that we got from Jason Home. So, I mean, honestly, if these weren't here, I feel like the entire dining room would feel completely different, but I feel like it really frames up the place and gives us another place to store some of our smalls.
She said it was the bay windows that she fell in love with, guys, but honestly, once she saw the bookshelves and the arch, I knew it was over. As we mentioned before, Safari Lodge, fresh fruit, limes, all the things you need in the lodge, and you can smell it, so that means it's ready. It's ripe and ready. This little bowl we got sourced in Los Angeles on one of our trips there from Olive Atelier. We mentioned Jason Home before. This
Another Jason Home.
Organic wood stool stump thing we love so much is from Jason Home. When we saw it, we knew we had to have it. Shout out to Green Ink, which has been our local florist.
We love Green.
That has held us down
For everything.
So shout out to Green. We'll link them. And then we have this really, really beautiful vessel that we sourced from Oklahoma randomly. Don't let these people out here get you into getting those vessels for like $100, $200, $300. Don't do that to yourself.
No.
There's a little shop in Oklahoma. We got you covered. The table was a gift to my wife. She wasn't my wife at the time. Were you my fiance?
No.
Nah, she was a girlfriend, y'all. She was a girlfriend. I was gifted tables.
All right, so when we're sitting at the table, a lot of times it's just Curtis and I, so we have 2 chairs here. One of her favorites is actually another deal from the Crate & Barrel outlet. Suburbs of Chicago, I think this is right near like Joliet, Aurora area. There is a Crate & Barrel outlet and we got this chair. Look at it, it's beautiful, and I can't tell you exactly how much it was, but it was definitely under $150.
Maybe like
70. Has this beautiful detail in the back, it's wood, and then like the cushion and everything is comfortable. Comfort is important to us, which honestly you might look at the other chair and be like, but this one is super comfortable, very beautiful. It styles differently even in our living room, dining room, however we see it. It's just one of our favorites.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Oh, elephant? Okay, well, the elephant in the room is that our refrigerator is in our dining room. And I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but when we saw it, we just knew that we were gonna have to work with it because we loved the other elements of our apartment. It isn't as cumbersome as it looks, but definitely not our favorite thing, but we just made it work. Adding in these shelves here from Crate & Barrel kind of made it feel like this whole area was a little bit more utility and functional. Win some, you lose some. Like, this was one of our compromises for our apartment.
Additions that we did in here that you love. You know, it was the one project that was Danielle's thing that she owned. And honestly, it was one of the best ideas ever. So talk about it.
Okay, so when you look at our apartment, you wouldn't ever guess that some of our ceiling tiles are actually made of foam. Our ceiling tiles here and also in our entryway, we'll show you later, are ceiling tiles from Amazon. It's been up there for like 2 years, right?
No, almost like 3.
Almost 3 years, and we like barely have to make a repair.
So
yeah.
If you're thinking about it on your own edge, hopefully we just push you over.
Yeah, just do it. It's really easy.
Trim in the back, these sconces and this gallery light on the wall are all additions that we made. And those really helped elevate the space and paired really beautiful with this paint that we got in Los Angeles from Portola in the color Nitty Gritty. And it is actually to be able to simulate a plaster. There's a family who created this recipe years ago that the father did, and then the sons took the business over. And now we have this really, really beautiful technique. And our friend Vic, who's an interior designer in Los Angeles, was the one who put us on. Shout out to Vic.
Hey, Vic.
We love Vic. This back wall is a piece that is currently on loan from an artist by the name of Von Davis Jr. in St. Louis. Wanted a textile piece for the longest time to really round out our collection and to make something bold. And so this painting really paired well with the movement that was happening in the nitty gritty. So it just was the last piece de resistance to the room.
Welcome to our kitchen. This is also another area that we put a lot of love and attention into. There's beautiful things in here, and one of the most obvious things is that our kitchen is actually kind of small. There's enough room for just the two of us, so it's given just the two of us.
Okay,
yeah, a little music break. Things we did in here to make it feel more like our own and open up the space. Actually take the doors off of some of our cabinets. So this exposes our beautiful dishware that we swap out depending on the season, depending on the holiday. One of our favorite things to open up this space and make it feel a little bit more interesting and custom. So yeah.
Because it is a galley style kitchen and obviously there's no window, it was really important for us to be able to try to bring some sort of color or light into the space to make cooking feel like more of an adventure.
Yeah, like a TV set.
Like a TV set. And also to be reminiscent of our travels and things like that. So for my 30th birthday, we actually went to Italy, and we were really, really inspired by the textures and colors that we saw in the country. And because of that, we found these tiles on Etsy. And now we have this really, really beautiful tile wall in our kitchen. And so it reminds us of the Amalfi Coast and Capri. We love Capri.
Love Capri. Shout out to our TaskRabbit. He was amazing and super talented and made this look so realistic.
So super random side note about the fun facts you find out about your TaskRabbit. Andy is a working actor who was actually a double on The Dark Knight.
Right, for Batman.
For Batman.
Not just like anybody.
Yeah. So maybe Andy might also be your TaskRabbit guy too. That's the kitchen. What you see is what you get. Yeah. Pretty much. My favorite piece in the collection is actually in our bedroom. It communicates directly to the gallery wall that's in the living room because the two Nico Washingtons actually mirror each other that are in the home. And Starboy for us just feels so warm and like another character and an element that's textural that we wanted to add into our space. Art is not always something that you always think about and having in a bedroom, but it just feels so powerful and it inspires us. And you think about stars at night, like there's a lot of connective tissue there. This is the Nico piece that we'll never stop talking about. So Starboy is like, pride and joy.
Starboy actually sits right above one of our favorite additions to our bedroom, which is this 18th century Mexican table that we got from First Dibs when we were looking for a vanity that could house all of our little tchotchkes.
We just got married, and so we actually got this unisex perfume while we were in Mexico City, where we went for our honeymoon. And we just love the like design elements of it. And this really, really dark wood is something that we found through our process of designing that we really gravitated towards. So we wish that our armoire would have been in this like really dark wood. Can y'all see it? You see the vision?
I think it would have been beautiful.
It would have been so good, but that's okay, guys, because that's the beauty about design. It evolves with you over time. So if y'all see this again,
and it's dark,
you
know why.
You were there when, folks. You were there when. So the paint color is also from Portola. You can either do Roman clay or lime wash, which are also both very popular that we're seeing in design. But this color is Figueroa. But we really wanted something that was like more oasis, more calm in our bedroom, because we really like the feeling when we travel to other countries and how it feels to be in a boutique hotel And the ladder we got from Etsy. Again, this is when we were on our bender for the dark wood.
Right.
So after the fact, and our dark wood stool
Where's
that
this
we
from?
sourced
LA?
in LA
Flea
at the
market.
Rose Bowl. Now it cost a lot to ship it back.
We shipped it. Like,
but it was worth it.
FedEx, I think.
Yeah, because when you try to buy this on First Dibs, they're gonna run your pocket.
Honestly, when we first found the apartment, the 2 closets was really nice. I think we both have an extensive wardrobe and wanted to have space, but also it's tucked away and easy to separate from the rest of our room.
Really wanted this like elongated feel in the room to be able to bring in some of that Scandinavian wasabi sort of vibe to the room with these sourced vessels. Those really simple ways to design really tied the room together in a way that felt considered, but also gave it elevation.
Well, our bedding is all from Parachute Home, except for this gorgeous indigo pillow that's all also from Jason Home. But yeah, our bedding we chose all from Parachute Home. It was really inspired by a Scandinavian design. We wanted the bedding to look like it was overflowing, so we scaled up in the sizing. Like I think we used like king size duvet covers where we could throw blankets and things like that to make it feel fuller. And honestly, linen sheets was a must for us. It's just, it takes a lot to like make it look pretty. So we steam them. I don't know if we would recommend it per se, but.
I mean, Danielle pretty much could get an award now. This is that like luxe hotel vibe that like once you dive in, you feel like you don't want to get out the bed. So I love being able to come in here after a long day's work.
We can say is why we didn't go with the headboard.
For us in the bedroom, we wanted the slate to be clear, and Danielle loves pillows. So we already knew there were gonna be 1,000 pillows. So, you know, sometimes
There's
the pillows are
right
the headboard.
2 are missing. This is our bedroom. This is our bathroom. It's pretty intimate and small, if you can't tell.
Intimate.
It's intimate. One of my favorite characteristics of our bathroom is actually our floors. So they're like this gingham print almost. I'm sure there's a better word for this in the design community to describe the tiles on our floor, but it's so beautiful, black and white, and it just makes you feel like you're in a vintage space.
Yeah.
But we made some other additions to the bathroom that make it feel more like us and that spa-like feeling.
It's not an ad, but Portola Paints. We're back with more Roman clay, guys. I'm trying to think of the color. I don't
Is it
remember
like
this
forest
color.
floor?
You got a good memory. Forest floor is what we did on the actual walls in here. And like Danielle said, it just made us think of a spa. And so we wanted, because the space was so small, we wanted it to feel like an escape from the rest of the house, that you could take a moment to yourself. Because of the floor, we wanted to bring in those Black notes into other moments of how we did paint and trim. And then also what we use for like the light switch and the light covers. Be thinking this or not, depends on how good you guys feel like we did. We added in these chocolate curtains, and then we took them all the way up to the ceiling to make the room look bigger, because originally the curtain rod was like this tall, maybe like 6 foot. And then we took it up to about 9. Love Aesop. And so the cabinet felt like a moment in the Aesop store. One thing that we've done throughout the home, whether it's like organizing under the sink, in closed closets, we really wanted stuff to feel merchandised. It feels like we're shopping when we're in our own home.
We continued our ceiling tiles up above. And then also we added some more trim in here, so it kind of gives more of that antique look and feel. And then another renter-friendly DIY in here are our sconces. So you saw these in our living room, and you also see them here in our foyer area. So really beautiful, plus our green doors that continue into other parts of our home. Feels like a big moment for continuity, but also, like Curtis said, it feels like a palate cleansing.
Things about these like historic Chicago apartments is like, there's this call system
Does not work.
button thing here that doesn't work, but it's so cool. And I really wish it worked, because when people come to visit you, you gotta like buzz them up on your cell phone. It would have been so cool to be able to do this. So we are now in our study. The reason we call it a study is because we added these floating bookshelves here that we found on Amazon to house our books. This is one of those projects that we had a vision for and we didn't quite finish, because we wanted books to engulf this whole space, and life just started lifing. It's our little moment to remind ourselves to slow down our day and to grab a book on a nice Saturday or Sunday and kick back and relax.
Because we live in an apartment building, like the actual entrance to our door is very uniform. Everyone else has the same door. We wanted to have something that felt like us, gave a bit of character, and also continued some of that molding that we've done throughout the rest of the home. You'd see like a Lincoln Park, from like a street view of some of those gorgeous row homes. Tell them about the fox.
This is really special because if you look all throughout the home at different moments, we have these little like characters that show up that really bring this like enchanting and like whimsical nature into the space. I'm a writer-director, and specifically my genre is fantasy and fiction. So these little moments of like the fox and the birds and the horse and the little things that we have throughout the space are like really special to us. Like this is a horse gold door stopper that we're using as like a book weight. But I love that my wife lets me do things like this because it really makes me happy. And people like the fox. I feel like he's like lucky.
Yeah,
So
like you rub it.
on your way out, you can like rub them. Forget luck. The 2 F's, functional and fly. If we can hit both of those, we did the Lord's work.
Speaking of fly, you gotta tell them about our entryway rug.
If you don't know the album, go listen to it by Outkast. So we really wanted to make sure that we had a representation of like our love for music. Danielle is the real music head. I just cosplay as one. But she's the one that if you need to know who made it, when it was made, all that, she's your girl. Me, I just like what I like. And I like this CD rug.
We loved the apartment for many reasons, but this was the first thing we saw, which were these closets. Gives us a lot of space, very, very functional, and there's 4 of them. In order to make it feel more like a moment, we painted them green, so that we got that big, like, I don't know how you would describe this, but it's very cohesive and also grand. It's not really a door handle on there. We needed to add our own. We found these on
Amazon.
And we love them because they're gold, but also very, very sturdy. They're using like a 3M, like double-sided tape. We just got 4 of them.
Yeah, it's all about designing with one continuous thought in mind. That's our house. This is the house of Taylor. I'm Curtis.
I'm Danielle.
And this is Pompeo Home. And we don't want to say you got to go home.
But
You do got to get up out of here.
bye. Thank you so much.